Don't wait. Sign up
Mm.
today. It's so easy to put things off, but just dive in with both feet. Just do it. God is with you. He wants to do something powerful in you and through you, and
Mm.
keep showing up. And you will make a difference. Whether you feel it or not, you are making a difference for their future and for generations. This is huge. This is
Mm.
massive.
Yeah,
Don't
thanks for
don't
saying
say that you
that.
can't do it, because you can. We believe in you.
Who was the mentor in your life who made all the difference? Or maybe you didn't have one. Who did you need back then? Welcome to the Mentoring Partnership of Miami County podcast, where we shine a light on those walking alongside kids with harder stories here in our community. If you want to show up for a kid from a hard place, complete the no commitment form in the description and we'll guide you down the path that best fits you. Now join us as we explore the transformative power of showing up and how becoming the person you needed can change a child's life, and maybe even your own. Hey listener, we are with Dan the Man Cain, and we're going to be talking about caring about kids through youth
Yeah.
mentoring, both structured, so that's kind of like one-on-one mentoring that Dan has done in the past, and then unstructured, which means you go into an environment and there's a bunch of kids there after school program, and you try to figure out, how to best care for them.
Scary.
Yeah, well, that's why
Intimidating.
we're trying to
Do it.
help
It's worth
people
it.
navigate that. So, Dan, give us a brief background history of doing those different types of youth mentoring. And then today, we're going to do tips because people like tips. So we'll go back and forth. You do a tip, I'll do a tip. We'll build off of each other and help people feel comfortable
Great.
doing mentoring.
Sounds like a plan.
Cool.
I have always been interested in helping the next generation. When I was in college, we did high school ministries and things. But as I got out into the working world, I was a pastor, a youth pastor in Oregon, Illinois, 2 hours west of Chicago. And I used to meet with students. We started this one-on-one mentoring. Actually, I may not have told you about this, Paul, but we did one-on-one mentoring over in Illinois and tried to foster some of these relationships, deepen these bonds, encourage kids in a really, really difficult world that they are, a lot of things you say, they are of value, they are of worth. God has plans for them. He wants the best for them, and they can do it. And I believe in you. So then moved over here to Troy, Ohio, about 13 and a half years ago. Became a senior pastor of Troy View Church on 25A. I did Big Brothers, Big Sisters for some years until he aged out of the program. And we've been doing things in our church, again, with the students. I meet with them still. I'm getting ready to do some summer visits with kids and boys. I meet with boys, take them out to Dairy Queen and things like that, and just ask them what's up in their world. Some open-ended questions. We'll get to that, but ask them how they're doing and try to pour into their life the way that my mentors, my older brothers, 14 years older than me and 20 years older than me, have poured into me. My mom and dad discipled me for many, many years. Grateful to have two loving parents who mentored me in many ways. But a lot of people have poured into me, encouraged me that I can do it, and I want to do that for the next generation. So that brings us to today, to now. Recently, after John Hagar got a hold of me, he came to our church, and he said, "You guys got to get involved in this great mentoring partnership." And I said, "What's that?" So we had tacos, and he told me all about the mentoring partnership. And since then, my daughter and I have been serving at Eagle's Wings since last summer, helping kids ride the horses up in Piqua and talking to them as they're riding. I've been doing lunch buddies, meeting with my little buddy at school and playing games and asking him about his life once a month. And then the Troy Rec Center, we're going to talk about that a little bit more open-ended going there. Dennis shared some things about the Troy Rec and all that's going on there. There's probably more, but I think those are the main ones.
You've had that experience of one-on-one with lunch buddies and Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Mhm.
Eagles Wings, maybe not the same kids every time, and
Yeah.
then the Troy Rec. Tell us about the Troy Rec. What do you do at the Troy Rec?
Well, I try to relate to the students and not be, um, I was going to say not be an old fogey, but that's not very nice. Uh, they see me and they're like, "Here's a dad," and he's uncool.
Mm,
Maybe they don't. Maybe they see somebody. I hope they see somebody who's interested in them, who wants to relate to them, and I'm available. I see a lot of kids who are looking at their phones. I see a lot of kids who are doing their thing, playing basketball and pool and just hanging out video games with other kids. And I don't want to. I don't. The rec center is a very different animal. Kelly would tell you, but I don't want to interrupt that or intrude into their personal space. But what I will do, is for a few months I had a chessboard, and I would just come there with a chessboard, and I would set it up, and I would put my phone away and look at kids and acknowledge them, wave as they're walking by, ask how they're doing, and ask them, invite them into playing chess. I have a 3D printed from the Troy Makers Lab Star Wars chess. On one side, it's these little characters like this, Star Wars, and then on the other side is Squirrel because my boys at home wanted Star Wars and the girls wanted Squirrel. So they're kind of interested. They're like, what is this weird thing? And then I
mm,
say, you want to play? And that's one thing. Teach them chess, or if they already know how to play it, just play with them. Pool, I've played pool a bunch of times. Taught a kid or two. That's more Dennis's uh, adventure, and he's really good at that. They know Dennis from Mondays, and he'll do that. Um, if the kids are playing, I don't want to like take over and have the old guy. Hey, I wanted to play, but this weird dude is playing. Uh,
mm,
and I got to wait on him. But if there's nobody playing or if they want to know how to play, I'll teach them. More recently, I have been getting into, I'd say, maybe since March or April, pickleball. And I tried to get different games out, and some of them would go better than others. And I do help with snacks and things. But the pickleball, man, these kids flock to pickleball. And it's just a fun, different kind of thing that they don't get there. We have set up in the gym before. I've got a mobile pickleball net. I've got some paddles. We try not to get hit in the head with basketballs. And the basketball players sometimes get hit in the head with pickleballs, but that's the nature of the beast. I have been doing this
mhm.
summer once a month. I take them upstairs. We've got new outlines of the pickleball court in the ballroom upstairs. And instead of just try to hit it, which is what we usually do during the rec times, I will say, okay, here's the actual rules, and let's play a real game. I'm going to keep points. And I did it last month, and they got a big kick out of it. They did make some kids go up there at the beginning who didn't want to play, but they tried it. They tried it, and maybe planted some fun seeds. And at least, if nothing else, they see that an adult is interested in them, an adult cares, an adult sees something in them that maybe as we're young is kind of hard to see in ourselves. How's that?
Mm. So I'm kind of like chomping at the bit because we had some fun earlier talking about like the tips on how to help other people maybe feel comfortable and confident and seeing themselves as a mentor and showing up to these places, whether they're structured or unstructured. I think anyone who is a healthy adult that can commit to an hour a week or hour every
Absolutely.
other week
And
is so
yeah,
needed and valuable.
it doesn't
But I
take
kind
much
of wanted to
time.
yeah, and I wanted to tease out the
An
lessons like
hour. Yeah.
really quickly. So
Hmm.
maybe we should move into the tips and then we'll use your story through mentoring to help people see themselves
Okay.
in it and get plugged in. So
Yeah,
we're
sounds
going to go back and forth. You provide a tip. We'll talk about it a little bit. So, Dan, what's your first tip? Tip number one.
Tip number one, whether I am helping out one on one with a student and it's going through a book with curriculum, like what do you call that? Just a very predetermined plan, or whether it's open ended. I forgot to mention I help out at youth camps, but whatever I'm doing, uh, as I'm driving to the situation, or even before that, I want to pray. And I think it's kind of a given. It's kind of seems obvious, like, yeah, of course, God should be involved, but it opens me up to say, God, who do you want me to talk to? What do you want me to say to them? How can I build them up? How can I encourage them? How can I be present with them in these few moments? Bring some people to me. Help me to have this engagement. Give me strength and power to speak into their life, and just be open to your leading. What do
Mm,
you want me to do in this in this spot? It's huge, huge having that connection.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, so if you're a praying person, the idea of connecting to God, your source of power to help ground you, and maybe uh, if there's something beyond this physical dimension, then there's something else that's going on. As you are getting there,
Yes,
you are preparing your spirit, your soul, to engage with this other spirit or soul that you have stories are colliding in that moment.
I like that.
And how can you show up as kind of the most loving version of yourself, to see what is unseen, to see if you only see the tip of the iceberg of their behavior and their person, and know that they are good, worthy, and valuable, that there's a whole story there that you get to show up to in a
Amen.
moment, and to prepare your heart
Hmm.
for that, and to allow God to guide you. If that's your belief system.
This whole thing is so much bigger than myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to do tip number two?
Yeah, no, that was so good. I kind of want to like hear the listener, like what does actually, if you are a commenting kind of person and you want to comment on whatever platform, what does that mean to you? What is preparing and praying? I was
What
on the
would your
way
prayer
in.
be? What would your
Yeah,
one sentence prayer be? It doesn't have to be a half hour of prayer, but just 30 seconds.
yeah,
What would you make
on
that?
the way in, during, and after. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And
My
after. Yeah, that's
second
good.
tip is kind of my tip. My tip number one. So tip number two is kind of in that space. Tip number two is to grow down. So a
Right.
lot of mentors, a lot of people, a lot of adults say like, "Grow up. Why don't you grow up?" And like, if you're 13, you've never been 14. You know, if you're 7, you've never been 9. But if you're an adult, you've been all these ages. So for me, some of the way that I like to contemplate and reflect being there for a kid is going down and remembering myself at that age, growing down, contemplating in that prayerful space of like, what was I seeing, feeling, hearing? How was I relating to peers and parents and teachers? Uh, what did I want and need? Like really getting reflective and growing down to that space, so that what I would remember is that, and this is something that psychiatrist Kurt Thompson says, is that we come into this world looking for someone looking for us. And what that means
Very
is
good.
is that when you go into the Troy Rec or you show up for Lunch Buddies, that kid is looking for someone looking for them. Like they're looking for your eyes and your presence. Whether you are playing pickleball or chess, or you just happen to be there
Mm.
time and time again, first, like, in your language, like the old fogey weird, like, why are you here?
It
And then
does.
over time,
Yeah.
they develop that trust of like, wow, like they're here to just be and to remember my name, and all
Mhm.
of those things. So that's my tip, is to grow down to that level, and to remember that my behavior was so bleh at whatever age, and their behavior is so bleh. So how to just love them beyond it, and care for them beyond it.
That's
So
good. I have four
yeah,
kids, four young kids, Paul. And I find that I like how Jesus talks about having a childlike faith. And
yeah.
when we can open ourselves to have a childlike heart, to sort of let our hair down a little bit and be okay with being silly, and like you said, not acting childish and immature, but acting childlike. That you can
Yeah.
connect with them and like, oh, these adults kind of know how to have fun, and who doesn't like to have fun? And that can be a very easy connecting point. Sometimes I'll tell dad jokes and puns, and they roll their eyes, but then it sort of breaks the ice, and it
Mhm.
allows kids to maybe just um, connect a little bit easier or with less, whatever you'd call it, less apprehension towards me.
Yeah. Oh, here's my mentor coming. I
Yes.
guess we're going to talk
Yeah.
about
Wearing a
uh,
three-piece suit,
how I'm doing today.
the
You
7-point
know,
checklist that he's going to
yeah,
check for accountability. No, I
yeah.
just want to ask,
Hey,
how is your soul? How is it with you?
yeah. That works
What's
really
going
well
on?
into tip number 3. And
Number three is to put your
yes.
phone away. Oh, there's my kids.
Ah,
Put your phone
yeah.
away. I
Mm-hmm.
cannot tell you. I mean, you see it everywhere, but the amount of people at restaurants, at churches, let's all gather together. Let's get together and stare at our screens. It is so completely backwards of how God made us to be. The phone is a great tool. Use it for that tool and then put it away and be present with the people that you're with, especially if you want to connect with people. You're going to need eye contact. It's your body language. It's your facial expression that they are looking at as they're passing you by. And if, guess what? If you're staring at your phone, even while I'm waiting to play chess with kids or something, if I'm staring at my phone, they are seeing that he doesn't want to interact with me and he is closing himself off to this connection. So be friendly, be welcoming. Maybe, yeah, you can do all kinds of body language, like what's you do a little head nod or a little wave or whatever you want to do. But when they see you without a screen, it it's kind of rare in our world today. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
unusual because we fill in those too many gaps with our screens. But it is a great way to just welcome somebody into starting a connection, whether that be at
Mm-hmm.
the grocery store or at the Troy Rec Center or at your supper table.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you get really into a lot of conversations, and some lighter, some deeper, but you're not going to have the conversations if you're just continually checking or staring at your screen.
Mm-hmm. So the
Put
tip
it
is to
away.
be present,
Be
and
present with
the
the people that you're with.
and our s- and our screens and our minds, like anything, can kind of distract us.
Everything.
And
Squirrel, squirrel,
it,
squirrel distracts us.
yeah, and you're saying, like the chessboard, and you're saying that when when a child witnesses us looking at a screen just like everyone else, they say, "Oh, that's where you want your attention to be."
Yeah.
But
Not
when
for
your
me.
attention is open,
Mhm.
available, here, fully present, then the message that's being delivered is, "I'm here for you."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think one of my mentors says that the greatest gift that we can give someone, the greatest present we can give someone, is our presence and
Amen.
our full
Absolutely.
presence. And whatever is stealing our
Full.
presence is kind of like our work. So if we have any, and we all are to a degree, like addicted to the dopamine that comes from
Sure.
a screen or our ideas or whatever it is,
Mhm.
uh, being able to detach from that so we can attach to a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder how
great
many of
tip.
these kids are going home and their mother, their father, their brothers, their sisters, video games, TV, scrolling TikTok and Instagram and whatever. How much face to face interaction are they having with the people in their home? If it's lining up with statistics, it's not a lot. And we need to
Yeah.
be that safe space, that different sort of space. Like, oh, I'm not used to this, but I really want that human connection
Hmm.
to just be there.
And I think I've worked really hard at this for like 6 years personally. Like I have this thing called TechWise Tribe to help
Yeah.
people and myself like disconnect from technology, be accountable to someone else, and have rhythms of disconnecting. And I'm as guilty as anyone else. It's still, even though I put my phone in a box, my brain and sometimes
With a
my
lot.
phone
Yeah.
still captures my attention because those dang
That's what
algorithms.
it's built for.
Yeah, they're
We got to be
so.
better than the phone, smarter than the smartphone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good tip. Okay, tip number 4. My tip is this. So presence. I think a lot of I've there are people in my life that I'm like, oh my gosh, you would be such a good mentor. And I hear through them or through a friend of theirs where they're like, I don't feel ready, or like, I don't think that that's like something that I could be good at, or something like that. They feel like this apprehensive or in this anxiety. And I think the point of this conversation is just to like lower that so low, where the real tip is that 90% of mentoring a youth is showing up. That's it. In so many ways, it's being consistent and like just ready for the journey. It is saying like I'm gonna commit, because commitment's hard in this day and age, and say whatever my commitment is,
Yes.
once a month, once every other
Right.
week, once a week. Like if I go and one time it's like, like awful, then I'm gonna talk to someone about that. I'm gonna reflect on that. But I'm gonna show up the next week,
Yeah.
because it's
Don't let
not
it
about
get you down.
me. It's about them, and joy is on the other side of those insights and those relationships, and
Yeah.
that comes with that consistent time
Yeah.
of
Don't
of
give up.
caring for a kid.
Don't give up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard you say, even just in your mind, like I tried chess and pool and pickleball. Like there's,
I was
with in
seeing
the
what stick, throwing everything
unstructured,
at the wall. Yeah.
yeah,
I
in the
even
unstructured mentoring space, it takes time to figure out, um, you know, what
mhm.
that
what
is
what fits, what
for
works.
you.
I'll be real candid with you. Is that about halfway through the school year at the rec center, I had a talk with Kelly, just checking in, and I said, Kelly, I don't know what to do with these kids. Like I'm trying these different things, and I don't. Feelings don't always line up with facts. We know that, right? But I've been feeling like I'm just sort of here, but not adding value, not doing much, um, not making a difference. And we can feel that way a lot because difference in people is really, really hard to see. I'm a pastor. I've been doing this a long time, and it's the hardest thing to see is growth or the impact that you're making. And she told me, just keep showing up, just keep being here. And that's when I started trying the pickleball. I said, maybe they'll be interested in this, something different. And then when I go there, it gives me a purpose, it gives me a space, it gives me a reason, it gives me something to do rather than this old guy just walking around looking at me. Like, what is he? Creeper, right? Who is this guy? Cringe, total cringe. So cringe. And it gives me, so they come into my space instead of me invading their space. And you just got to find your groove a little bit, but it can be frustrating. Kelly did tell me at the beginning of the year, she said that if you only come once or you only come very sporadically, they're not going to get to know you, and they're not going to get to have a comfort level with you. They're not going to see that this person cares enough to show up and values me because they're just not going to know you. So if you go once, if you go twice, if you go three times, and you space it out over a year, it's going to be a lot more difficult than if you're consistently showing up in their lives. And that's true with anybody, but especially with the kids that you're trying to mentor and encourage. I love that you said just keep showing up. And you may walk away going, I made zero difference today, but you never know that little interaction. That guy remembered my name. And that's how you get to know their names too, is when you keep showing up and you keep interacting with them. You don't realize how much that means to a person when you try hard to remember their name, even write it down afterwards if you need to, and call them by that name. And then another tip, which we'll get to when you're ready, ties
Yeah,
into that.
I'm really glad you keep going back to like this feeling. That I'm really glad that you do, because I don't want to say it out loud because I don't want to propel people from like showing up and mentoring. The whole point is to like recruit. But you say these things that I'm like, oh, don't say that. But really, it's like exactly what needs to be said, because the barrier that some people feel to mentoring, or especially these unstructured mentoring kind of relationships and environments is like you might walk in there and be like, oh shoot, I do feel like a weird person,
Yeah,
like a weird old
it's a little
man
to get
cringy
used
thing,
to.
and that and to and to have that sense be verbalized and then be dispelled, like, no, you are actually there because you care, and the
Put it away.
energy that brought you there the first time might
Mhm.
not carry you through every single interaction, like every single time you show up, because the doubt that creeps in of, am I making a difference? Do I matter? Does this matter? And and I think the other thing about growing down is imagining being in that situation where you're witnessing caring adults show up, getting curious and wondering, and just the witness, even if they're on their phones all the time, but they witness you showing up every time. What is that speaking about the the kind of person that they can become and model after, like a
Volumes.
person that shows up for kids?
More than we'll ever
And
know.
it seems that beyond after that conversation, which is like that's another tip that we're not actually going to go into, but get like actually talk this out with people. Um, is that you grew down like another level. You engaged in the way that you had fun, and um, it drew kids in. So
Back to the
that's fun.
childlikeness. Don't stress about it
Absolutely.
too much. Don't get
Yeah.
anxious or overwhelmed. Just be open and have some fun. I mean, kids want to have fun, but adults need to have some fun too. And I have fun playing pickleball with the kids and enjoying that conversation. Try to get joy out of it yourself, and then that'll help you want to go back next time too. It's not always going to be amazing every single time, but it's building up to something great that God wants
So that
all of
leads
us
us
to
to
be a part in.
tip number 5.
Okay, this is me.
Yep.
I had asked them open ended questions about their life and their story. What's been, I like to say, I don't like to say, how are you? Because what's their answer? Fine, good. How was
Yeah.
school? Good,
Yeah.
fine. No,
Good.
don't ask questions that could be answered easily with one word answers. I say, what's happening in your world lately? What have you been up to? And let them talk and then listen and then ask follow up questions. This seems so easy. You do this with adults too, but ask follow up questions about what they're telling you about their interests and try to go deeper with some of it. Listen to their stresses and their concerns and their challenges and their joys and try to go in that flow of conversation. If they get immature and inappropriate, maybe steer away from the fart jokes, but try to do the improv thing of yes and you just roll with it and go where they're wanting to go, and you never know. I mean, you get to know people in a lot of ways when you ask those open ended questions and follow up questions. And
Hmm.
then share a little bit
Hmm.
about yourself, but don't make it all about yourself. Let them know you a bit, but you don't want to dominate the conversation, of course.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah,
tip.
it's not about you. Vulnerability begets vulnerability. You can be honest because there's
Yeah.
mutual exchange, but the more you listen, and I think this wraps up also tip number 6 is that this is a craft. Like there's a
Yeah.
craft
Yeah.
to
You got to
relationships
hone it.
with kids, and so I think some of the apprehension for some people is like, "Ah, I don't know that craft. Like that feels like I know what work relationships look like, and I know what parenting relationships
Hmm.
look like, but I don't know what these relationships look
It
like."
is a
So
different beast.
my tip is don't do it alone. Is make adult friends. Listen to these
Yeah.
episodes. Be friends with Dan and Dennis and others at the Troy Rec. Make
And
friends
John and
wherever
Paul and
these
Kelly. Yeah.
are, and
Yeah.
yeah, this community of people that care about kids. And
Huge.
when you do that, you learn about trauma and stories and trust in a way that you never had before. That helps all your other relationships. Um, like there's these tricks of helping someone open up when they said something that they didn't know they were ever going to say, and sometimes it's open-ended questions. But my wife and I like to talk about like the Jedi mind trick of just reflecting. Like it's just like, yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
like you witness
Use tool.
something, you witness, and then they say something, and then you just say back what you heard, And because people like that, and they like, oh my gosh, they actually heard what I said. They're listening to me. They
How about
understand what
that?
I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then the other one is just observational language. Like you see a kid doing something, they walk by the chessboard and they pause, and then you say, "You're a little interested in chess." It's not a
Yeah.
question; it's
Right.
just an observation,
It's good.
and they might say no, and you go, "Okay," and it's just it kind of cracks open the curiosity of how you're going to get to know each other. So. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those are 6 tips, and those that's kind of our time. But we want to draw people into again both structured mentoring, one-on-one. We have a lot of opportunities around Miami County for that, and then unstructured mentoring. Try different kinds. Plug in the way that you would want.
Right.
And again, we share the stories of Dan and Dennis and others so that you, the listener, can see yourselves in them and then take a small step to saying yes to caring for a kid from a hard place. So Dan, what's like a final reflection,
Sure.
comment,
I'll go with your thought.
invitation?
Don't wait. Sign up
Mm,
today. It's so easy to put things off and put things off and put things off, but just dive in with both feet. Just do it. God is with you. He wants to do something powerful in you and through you, and
mm,
keep showing up. And you will make a difference, whether you feel it or not. You are making a difference for their future and for generations. This is huge. This is
mm.
massive.
Yeah,
Don't
thanks for
don't
saying
say that
that.
you can't do it, because you can. We believe in you. Talk with Paul if you have questions or doubts or fears. Talk with me.
Yeah, and talk
Let's
to
go to the wreck
anyone
together.
on the
You know
Mentoring
what day you
Partnership
wanna go.
team. Thomas, John, Bruce, Caleb, Dave. We got a whole
Fantastic.
group of people that deeply care about kids, and that we want to welcome you into this adventure.
So
And
much support
fill
along
out the form, help us guide you into finding your fit, and then start showing up.
Amen and amen.
Cool. Sweet. Thanks, Dan. All right. Thanks, listener, for sticking with us. And we want to hear from you. So comment, reach out, fill out the form, talk to one of us. We appreciate you. And more than anything, the kid that you end up connecting with is going to be the most grateful of us all. See you, brother.
See you.
Wow. Wasn't that conversation powerful? Chances are, while you were listening, someone else was coming to mind. You wanted them to listen in too. And on behalf of a child, send this episode their way. And if you care about these kids, take a moment right now to subscribe, rate, and review. Because when you do, the algorithm helps more people find these conversations, to find the voice of these kids. And each small step you take help more adults show up for a child with a harder story. If you want to explore how you can show up, fill out the no commitment form in the description of this episode. Because only together can we help more kids find the support they need. And only together can we help more adults step into the story they were made for.